Hello, mighty ones. Beautiful, beautiful people. Ah, man. I am so fired up. I can hardly contain myself. I'm literally about to explode. And then on top of that, it's just victory after victory after victory. On top of this, all of what's going on. You know what I mean? It's insane to actually fly above the storms, to be in the world but not of the world, and to really take the words and then actually experience them and feel them. That's when you don't really need the words anymore. That's the firm foundation. And now this is a whole new walk and a whole new life when you've taken the words and you've applied them and you are hand in hand with Source and you are in alignment. Nothing else matters. You could be in the fire 7 times hotter. Only thing that burns away is my bondage. I'm cool with that. So even there, it's awesome. And so that's where I'm coming from. And that's what I'm, prepare the people for paradise. Prepare the people for paradise. It's just all in my heart and my mind. And I just, so it's like, so I wanted to share a victory with you. I've been watching, I've been called to just really make sure that the truth is the truth and that, the false prophets and the falseness is repelled and removed. It's also given a chance, and that's part of what this is. And so I don't know if I can translate this. Just so much of this is vibrational. Like, it's not conditions, it's vibrations. And when you can understand that, your whole world flips around. And then you see through feeling. Instead of sight, you feel. But you still use all of your senses. It's that extra. And so I've been watching and monitoring a couple people just to make sure, because they, big followings, they have a decent impact, and I just want to make sure that that is proper. And so there was one where it was like, he was getting to the point to where, and all this is confidential. So anyways, it always is. And so he was like getting to the point to where he was believing he was Jesus. And I know a lot of you guys are like, here we go again. We see it time and time again. And that's exactly what was prophesied. That so many would come saying that I'm Jesus. And it says, don't look over there. Don't go over there. It's not. And so anyways, this was that. Okay, and so I had to test the spirits and discern and make sure. And so when I came to this person, I was like, you're doing good. You're just out of alignment in a serious way. And it has to be addressed just because I love you so much and that, God is focusing on you. And he is not willing that you should perish. No one. He's not willing that anyone should perish. Hell is a paradise for demons, and you don't belong there unless you are one, and then that's where you belong. It's awesome. I know. You're like, oh. I know. When you know it and you hear it and you experience it, then you know it's real, So anyways, back on track. So he's like, I'll just kind of go through this conversation, and he was pretty much like, I am Jesus, and so I kind of respectfully, without judgment, rebuked him. And it was like, this is my stage. You have yours. Please respect that. Of course, naturally. And so then he's like, I told him, you're not. And I gave him some scriptures, and I took the scriptures and gave it to him in a way that we can understand for today. And he's like, I reject your reality. And he's like, I am. And I'm like, I know what and where he's coming from. So I was like, okay, so let me get down to it here. And I was like, okay, the seeds have been planted, and your pride keeps you slow. I know. The spirit of the sword or the sword of the spirit is a double-edged sword, and it cuts strongholds down. And the truth hurts for a second until it sets you free. And so I was like, may that be removed. And much love. I was not pushing. I was not proselytizing or anything. I was just telling them. And so then I let it be. And he come back and he says, you may be correct. Source seems to be telling me all the love is spreading with the post is helping counter fear and slowing it down. 2 different people told me they heard trumpets, which is very, very true because we are in some precarious times right now. And I told him, I didn't mean to push or seem too hard on you. You're going in the right direction. And he's like, it's okay, man. Can I humbly ask you a question? I was like, absolutely. And it was late, and I waited and waited. I fell asleep. So I came back the next morning, and he has like smiley faces, and he said timing, and I was like, I understand on a certain level, all religion, myth, legend is a mix of truth and tall tales. But when I look at my whole life, I cannot deny that I really think I am the second coming. Not trying to be blasphemous, just hard to deny. With all the names, dates, and signs. Okay, so here is the llama in action, So here's how this went down.
Yeah, I get you. I understand. I went through all that type of deal.
Hope you can hear it okay.
But just know that we are like Christ. We are as Christ. So that's what you're feeling. That's good. That's true. But we are not Christ. We are not the full, exact Christ. We only have that spirit. We are a fraction of what he is. He is the example of what we are to become. So it's like you're not wrong, but you're not quite fully in the right area of truth when you put this together. So you can be filled with the Holy Spirit. You can have the Christ consciousness. You can be saved. You can do all the things that we have been commanded to do and be. But you're not on the right hand of the Father right now. You're not making the sun and the moon and the stars come up right now. There's a big, huge, infinite difference. Like we are one. And we're not separate. But we are different. And then it's the same thing with even Christ to the Father. He is that they're one but different. And another thing, just so you know, you have that peace and that truth that if you're here. Then who is going to be stepping out of the clouds to call us up into the air to forever be with him?
Thessalonians.
That's another thing. And as prophet, I'm able, through just love and dedication and God's grace, to actually go boldly before the throne. I see them. I know who's there. The mother is on the earth getting the hearts ready. And then the Christ is in the other room getting his new robes and new name on.
That's big.
And Christ and the Father is on the throne. He's getting ready to send Christ. If you're already here, then you can't be the real and all the way Christ. You are just a servant to Christ.
Yes.
And when you serve unto the least of these, you do it unto me. That's what Christ said. So with that being said, I just... you can be be everything And just because you're not the Messiah or the Savior doesn't mean that you can't be with Him and save others. So it's almost like you got it, but you have like the cart in front of the horse instead of the horse in front of the cart, you know? And so if we just make this small tweak where you don't think more highly of yourself than you ought, but then you don't think less than who you truly are, because you are going to reign in unconditional love over this cosmos with all the other kings and queens and brothers and sisters. That's our destiny. So, but we will be with Christ. So I promise you, I know Christ, and you are not it. You were like Him, but you are not it. And I say that with all love and honor and respect, and I'm proud of you, and you're going great, and you're doing good, but I just had to step in and just, iron sharpens iron, and I had to just make sure that truth is being spoken so that we don't have more false prophets and more just erroneous doctrines and just everything that was prophesied. So just making sure that you're in full alignment, and I love you, and just let me know if just let me know if you have any more questions or if anything else I can do to help.
Sorry for the background noise, but for the people, I lay down everything. I stop everything I'm doing, just to make sure that the truth is known. And so here's what happened. Here's the victory got it. Thank you. I'll never claim it, even if I think it. I understand. Thanks. Just shut up, live this way, be humble, balance. Oh, I loved it. And so then he's like, that's the message. And so here's the last part.
That's beautiful, brother. Thank you for receiving it. It is the truth. I know that you feel it and resonate with it. And I know that you didn't want to be counted as those that were said that in the end days many would come and say that I am God and I'm Jesus and I'm here and I'm there, and don't be deceived.
This is prophecy
so you
right
no
now.
Longer have that curse upon your head.
This is what it was talking about.
Do your ministry and actually serve. And the point of serving is those who are last. It seems like you're last when you serve. Those who are last will become first, and those who are first will become last. So that's the program. That's why it's like, but then it's actually like, So that's the fullness of the gospel. That's both sides of the coin. So love you so much, and a special prophet's blessing to you and your household.
And then he says, the meek shall inherit the earth. Thanks, brother. Exactly. You helped immensely. And I was like, perfect. Much love, mighty one. And then I was like, the path you were going down was full of death and darkness, and God was not willing for that to happen. The kingdom has had a major victory just now. And he's like, and you played a huge part. Thank you. And I was like, hey, I live to serve, baby. This, this is what I love. And in the face of all the, everything is coming together. The cockroaches are scurrying, and the lights are coming on all over the planet. If nowhere else, at least by the Serenity Project. And God said, get to 8,000, and you're going to be able to change world policies. And we meditated all together, and we've been doing it consistently in obedience and that divine alignment and flow. And this is bliss. And you're seeing the seven, just the levels that I was given, the 7 levels of enlightenment. And it's just coming out, and it's manifesting from just a concept that was so big. I've been trying to explore it for almost 3 or 4 years now. It's just, I don't care what's going on. I'm not a reactor. I'm a co-creator. Hand in hand with God, no matter what. And just prepare the people for paradise. Prepare the people for paradise. That's all I hear. So, truth will set people free. And that's why we do it no matter what. You got to be happy anyways, so that your immune system and all your chemicals and everything is so high above it that you can't be touched by dis-ease. You don't have any dis-ease. So therefore you have no disease. That's bliss. It is a repeller and a transmuter of all that is dark and evil and sick and just garbage. Garbitch. No more of that. So I just wanted to share that victory. I just had to release some of these blessings. I can't contain all of this. And that's what built all this. And so it's just, that's that consistency. Just in 2012, God said, I came in crying. It was before my divorce. It was when everything was just still old responsibility and old vibration. And I came in boo-hooing, and they were on the couch, and they were sleeping, and I went straight to the bedroom, and I just cried and cried. I hated my life. And I had it all, supposedly. And I felt this hand on my shoulder, and I even looked up, and I expected to see like a big dude there by like my shoulder moved, and I felt the heat. And I looked up, and I was just like, just crying. And he said, just hold on, for the time is short. 8 years may not seem like a short time, but it is. It's very short, very short. Many great things and many disasters have happened in that short and long time. But it all works out. That's the message. It all works out. Whether you're thrown into slavery, and then you're betrayed, and then you're thrown in jail, and then you're forgotten about, one moment, God will step out and put his hand on you and put his focus on you in his favor. And then he will make you a second in the land. And he'll put you as prime minister. He'll put you as president. He'll put you as the new ambassador for humanity, if they will receive it. A new, as I speak for God, I was able to speak for the people to God as one true intercessor that follows Christ for now, so that all of everything, the full circle of everything actually is happening. You read it, and then you see the times, and then you become it. So it's amazing. It's amazing. Everything that was written about 2,000 years ago is happening now. And it's almost too easy. You see the labor pains, then you see the contractions and the sorrows, then you see the trials and tribulations, and then the baby's born. Or you see the 10 virgins. Some are wise and they have oil, and some are not and they don't. And then the master comes, the groom comes, and the bride, some are ready and some are not. And they all get to go to the party, but some are in what they call this outer darkness. They're kind of outside of the party. They're outside of the ceremony. That's it. They're at the party, but they're not in the ceremony. And so that's, and then it goes into the 3 harvests, and just all these stories are just getting us ready. And then if you can just receive it, and it's just so amazing. And so we're just living, walking prophecies. And to be in that obedience and that alignment is bliss. And so, I mean, that's so many fulfilled prophecies just in our lifetimes. And then the big one is, that when Israel becomes a nation, that generation will not pass before the Son of Man, the Son of God, comes and calls them. And then, stepping out of the clouds and calling them up. To be caught up is rapturo, which is translated into rapture. To be caught up is in the Bible. Rapture is not, but that's what rapture means. I don't know why. You just, the Holy Spirit and clarity, and then everything it's simple. Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. It's basic. So what happens when you have that and then you're moving past that? That's when you share and help those who are not there yet. Respect where they're at, but don't go down there. Bring them up here. And then we're all there. And that's how paradise is built. By obedience and the harvest. There's barley. It's plucked first, and then you have the wheat, and it's put on the ground, and there's a board, and it's stomped on, and then they throw it up in the air, and the wheat is separated from the chaff. And that's the second harvest, is gathering up the wheat. You got to get rid of the chaff. It's been growing up with us the whole time. The sheep and the goats, those ornery daggum goats. The sheep, they know the good shepherd's voice and they follow. Oh, goats are off in the bushes somewhere getting murdered. So, he goes and gets them and breaks their leg and puts them on his shoulder, and even they're saved. And that's the point. So, just all these are checkpoints. Where are you at? What are you doing? Look around, the signs, everything. The watchman on the wall, we love you. Wake up. Come on. Much love. Many blessings. And namaste.